What happens when the most self-aware voice in wrestling stares down the most dominant force of the modern era and calls him scary, but not unbeatable? That question has quietly become the heartbeat of WWE's road to WrestleMania 42, and says more about CM Punk and Roman Reigns than any championship graphic ever could. Because this isn't just a title match announcement. This isn't even just a Royal Rumble winner pointing at a sign. This is two men openly acknowledging exactly who the other is, what they represent, and why this collision feels unavoidable. Roman Reigns won the 2026 Royal Rumble, and by doing so, he earned the right every wrestler dreams of. The chance to headline WrestleMania, the chance to define the year, and the chance to choose his opponent. On Monday Night Raw, he made that choice official. Roman Reigns stood across from CM Punk, looked the WWE World Heavyweight Champion in the eye, and told him that WrestleMania 42 belonged to them. Not because it was convenient, not because it was safe, but because it was personal. The segment itself was tense, measured, and sharp. Punk didn't posture. Reigns didn't rush. Both men spoke like veterans who understood the weight of every word. Roman accused Punk of leaving WWE behind, of abandoning the company while Reigns stayed and built an empire. Punk fired back with confidence, not denial. The implication was clear. Roman believes he carried WWE forward. Punk believes he never stopped matching. What made the moment resonate wasn't volume. It was clarity. Roman Reigns wasn't challenging CM Punk because he wanted the World Heavyweight Championship. He was challenging CM Punk because he resented him. Because something about Punk's presence, his voice, and his history still got under Roman's skin. And CM Punk knew it. After Raw, Punk went on the Pat McAfee show and addressed the face-off with the kind of self-awareness that has always defined his best work. He didn't downplay Roman's promo. He praised it, but he also framed it in a way only Punk can. Oh, imagine that. In the ring with CM Punk, bringing the best out of guys? Yeah, I've heard that before. That line wasn't a joke. It was a thesis statement. CM Punk has always believed that his greatest value isn't just championships or wins. It's elevation. It's friction. It's the way opponents seem sharper, more focused, and more honest when they're standing across from him. And in Punk's view, Roman Reigns didn't suddenly level up by accident. Punk called this WrestleMania match the biggest one WWE could book right now. Not because of marketing buzz, but because of who they are. Two of the biggest stars in the industry, each with loyal, passionate fan bases, each convinced that the other represents a challenge worth taking. What's interesting is that Punk admitted he wasn't even sure Roman would choose him. He openly acknowledged that Drew McIntyre may have been the safer option. Less baggage, less history, less emotional volatility. But Roman didn't choose safe. According to Punk, Roman chose him because he got under his skin. Because something about Punk's return, his championship reign, and his voice forced Roman to confront feelings he hadn't fully processed. That detail matters. Roman Reigns is not a wrestler who makes impulsive decisions. His entire presentation is built around control, patience, and authority. For him to choose CM Punk at WrestleMania says this isn't about strategy. It's about pride. Punk expanded on that idea in another interview with You Better You Bet, where he explained how he views elite-level wrestling differently than traditional storytelling. At this level, it's not good guy versus bad guy, Punk said. It's superstar versus superstar. That framing changes everything. This isn't about moral alignment. It's about identity. Punk doesn't want Roman to change who he is. Roman doesn't want Punk to soften who he is. Neither man is trying to outgrow the other. They're trying to prove that their version of greatness is the one that survives. Punk referenced the old phrase famously used by Gorilla Monsoon, the irresistible force versus the immovable object. It's a line that gets thrown around a lot in wrestling, too often. But in this case, it fits because neither man is pretending to be something else. Roman Reigns' dominance, legacy, and sustained excellence. CM Punk is confrontation, authenticity, and emotional realism. And Punk made it clear that he doesn't just respect Roman's dominance. He needs it For Roman Reigns, watching him and his career and his trajectory, a leveled-up Roman Reigns is a scary proposition to anybody if your name isn't CM Punk, Punk said. That sentence is doing a lot of work. Punk isn't dismissing Roman. He's acknowledging him. He's saying that Roman at his best should intimidate the locker room. And if he doesn't, something is wrong. But Punk is also saying that fear is the point. I need that. I need the best, Punk added. This is where the story stops being about ego and starts being about philosophy. CM Punk believes that beating the best version of his opponent is what validates him. Not shortcuts, not weakened champions, not compromised rivals. He wants Roman Reigns at full strength, fully motivated, fully resentful, because that's the Roman Reigns that matters. And Punk believes that when he beats that version, it reinforces everything he's claimed about himself for years. That's what makes me the best in the world when I beat these guys, Punk said. On the microphone in a ring, I'm still showing everybody that at the highest level, there is nobody better than me. That's not trash talk. That's a mission statement. Punk isn't trying to convince Roman. He's talking to the audience. He's talking to history. He's talking to the version of himself that left wrestling and came back because moments like this still mattered. He finished by calling it the WrestleMania main event, not because of a contract, but because of merit. This feud works because it isn't pretending to be something it's not. There's no sudden betrayal, no forced villain turn, no manufactured outrage. Instead, there's tension rooted in real history. Roman Reigns did stay. He did become the face of a company. He did carry WWE through eras of change. That resentment he expressed toward Punk isn't fictional. It's believable. And CM Punk did leave. He did return. And he did walk back into a company that had evolved without him and still command the spotlight. Neither man is wrong. That's why this matters. When Punk says that a true WrestleMania main event is two elite stars with passionate fan bases going head-to-head with real tension, he's describing something WWE doesn't always capture. This isn't about good versus evil. It's about perspective versus perspective. Roman believes loyalty defines greatness. Punk believes impact does. Roman believes staying and building matters. Punk believes shaking things up matters. At WrestleMania 42, those ideas collide. And what makes it compelling is that both men are honest about it. Roman isn't pretending Punk doesn't belong. Punk isn't pretending Roman didn't earn his place. They're just saying that only one version of greatness gets to stand tallest on the biggest stage. The phrase leveled up Roman Reigns keeps coming up, and it's important to unpack why. Punk isn't suggesting Roman needed improvement. He's suggesting evolution. A Roman who is emotionally invested, not just dominant. A Roman who isn't just defending legacy, but defending pride. That's the Roman Punk wants. Because that's the Roman that makes the win mean something. And that's where the fear comes in. Not fear of losing a match. Fear of being exposed. Roman Reigns has built an identity on being untouchable. CM Punk has built an identity on being undeniable. Those ideas don't coexist easily. As WrestleMania approaches, this feud doesn't need escalation. It needs patience. Every promo doesn't need to shout. Every segment doesn't need chaos. The story is already there. Two men, two philosophies, one championship, one night where neither can hide behind reputation. That's why this match feels big without being forced. That's why Punk calling Roman scary doesn't weaken him. It strengthens the story. Because respect raises stakes. And in wrestling, stakes are everything. So as WrestleMania 42 draws closer, the real question isn't who wins the World Heavyweight Championship. The real question is which version of greatness WWE wants to define its future. Is it Roman Reigns' era of sustained dominance? Or CM Punk's belief that the best prove themselves by standing across from the hardest possible opponent? That answer won't come from a promo. It'll come when the bell rings. And when it does, both men will get exactly what they asked for. What do you think matters more in a WrestleMania main event, sustained dominance, or the ability to elevate every opponent you face?